Indianapolis, the Fever welcome in the Seattle Storm with major playoff implications on the line tonight.
All right, y'all, look, it's a big one tonight, okay? It's an important one. This has got to be our best 40 minutes. This has got to be our most intentional 40 minutes in everything that we do, okay? Look, no one person needs to do anything outside of themselves, right? But every single person in this locker room needs to be the best version of themselves.
What if I told you the Indiana Fever didn't just win? They rewrote the record books in 6 different ways in a single night. With Caitlin Clark sidelined, 5 teammates missing, and her Nike logo glowing over Gamebridge, Indiana didn't just survive, they dominated, blasting the Seattle Storm by 20 and proving they are more than 1 star deep. This was bigger than a win. It was grit, history, and a playoff push rolled into one. And with Clark's return on the horizon, the future just got even scarier. If you're fired up, drop fired up in the comments. Let's go.
Leah Boston and Izzy McMagor in the center jump circle. We are underway from Indianapolis. Odyssey Sims tracks down the jump ball and lays it in.
Sims wearing bright pink shoes, passes to Mitchell, right corner 3. It's good, and it's a record. 771 points and counting in 2025 for Kelsey Mitchell, the most in Fever franchise history.
What do you call a game where the star never plays, yet still owns the entire night? That was Gamebridge Fieldhouse, transformed into Caitlin Clark stage even with her in street clothes. Nike picked this matchup to debut her signature logo, and the atmosphere felt less like a regular season game and more like a citywide celebration. The double CC was everywhere, projected outside the arena, stamped across giant screens, and printed on t-shirts handed to every fan. Within minutes, thousands slipped them on, turning the crowd into one massive, unified team.
It was really unique. I think it's very creative for Caitlin Clark to come up with something like this. And I just enjoy all of it. It's like aura.
We love it! It's simple, yet it speaks a lot.
I love it so much.
I'm a big fan of it. Simplicity is the best. I like the design. Nike always does great with design, so I'm a huge fan of the logo.
It looks really cool. I was really excited to see it last night, and it looks like we're going to get shirts with it on it, so that's pretty exciting too.
I like it. I like how it incorporates the CC.
I love it. Double C's. Let's go, Caitlin!
From the moment fans filed in, the atmosphere was electric. Caitlin Clark might not have been in uniform, but her presence on the arena. Gamebridge didn't feel like just another WNBA venue. It felt like Caitlin Clark Arena. Banners hung everywhere. Limited edition gear filled the stands, and fans proudly clutched fresh merch like collector's items. This wasn't just a basketball game, it was a cultural moment. And when pre-game ceremonies rolled, every mention of her name drew roars, proof that even in her 16th straight game out, the city still rallied around her.
Feels good. Got the pants, got the charms, necklace, zipper, everything.
But that's where the pressure really set in. Clark wasn't the only one stuck on the bench. Sophie Cunningham, Chloe BBY, Sydney Coulson, and Ari McDonald were all sidelined too. 5 key players gone. And with Indiana already dropping 4 of its last 5 games, the margin for error was razor thin. This wasn't just another matchup. A loss here wouldn't just sting. It could shove the Fever deeper down the standings and derail their playoff hopes altogether.
BB's been the one that's been most affected by all of our injuries. All of the point guards that know how to get her the ball and how they get it to her. And it's not just getting her the ball, it's where you get it to her. Getting it to her on time, on target, thinking one pass ahead, all that matters. And I thought today, her aggressiveness with the ball in her hands to the rim, getting into defenders, playing low to high instead of high to low. When she plays like that, there's nobody that can stop her. And, she set the tone for us, really on both ends. She had the NECA assignment as well and set the tone for us on both ends. And, she was terrific.
The night turned into a story of contrasts. Off the court, Indiana staged a full-blown spectacle around their superstar. On the court, they had to survive with a patched-up roster and the challenge of stopping Seattle. Even before tip-off, Coach Stephanie White didn't sugarcoat it. This had to be played like a playoff game, every possession carrying weight. And Aaliyah Boston summed it up best. It didn't feel like August basketball. It felt like May.
It's special. There's very few people who get the opportunity to say that they have a logo and to to make the impact that she makes, not just I think in the sport, but globally, just by being who she is. She's a connector. She brings people together, and I think for us to be a part of that, and whether it's as simple as being able to celebrate all of these things with her, or as much as walking out into the arena and seeing the whiteout on the chairs out there, it's really cool. And it's really special and I'm talking about it right now, and just feeling the intense gratitude for me personally, being in women's basketball, to be able to be a part of this moment and to celebrate with her.
That kind of pressure meant Indiana couldn't just coast through the night. The mix of celebration and survival cranked the energy to another level. And while Clark's logo lit up the building, it was someone else's hot hand that lit up the scoreboard. The Fever came out swinging, topping 20 points in every quarter, never once falling behind, and burying Seattle under a wire-to-wire performance. When the final buzzer hit, the scoreboard read 95-75, a 20-point statement that lifted Indiana from 8 back up to 6 in the standings. Fans walked in wearing Clark's logo, but they walked out talking about a team that had turned the moment into dominance. And what followed wasn't just about points, it was about grit and toughness.
And Gabby Williams were slow to get up after a collision underneath the basket. Here's what happened.
Oh, that is a major collision for the two of them. They both knock heads. It took them both some time to get to their feet.
Every season has a turning point, the moment where a team could fold under pressure, or fight through it. For Indiana, you didn't have to wait long to see it. Just minutes into the first quarter, Gainbridge fell silent after a violent collision. Lexi Hull and Gabby Williams went head-to-head chasing a loose ball, the impact echoing across the arena. Hull staggered off with a knot swelling on her forehead, and the crowd cheers instantly turned into gasps. With 5 teammates already sidelined, the idea of losing Hull too felt like a breaking point.
Just curious, on a big picture, was Caitlin able to go through your little walkthrough or whatever you normally do? And what do you want to see ultimately to get comfort whenever the time comes?
Yeah, she went through our walkthrough yesterday. Today it was very short, prior to game time, but she went through it yesterday, and I want to see her in practice, live in practice. Want to see her continue to work to not just build endurance, but to be able to handle contact 94 feet as it's going to be in game, and to be able to do that and sustain from an endurance standpoint. And that's going to take multiple practices to make sure that there's no regression. And as most of us know, when we get fatigued, we look different, and see how she plays through fatigue.
So what exactly does Caitlin Clark bring back? The answer is written all over last season. She shattered a single-season scoring record as a rookie. And while she's been sidelined, Kelsey Mitchell has already surpassed that mark. Now imagine Clark's limitless range paired with Mitchell's slashing, Boston's inside dominance, Sims' veteran stability, and Hull's defensive grit. That's not just a playoff team, it's a matchup nightmare. But here's a challenge. Coach Stephanie White has already said it's not just when Clark returns, it's about how ready she'll be. Her conditioning, her endurance, her ability to handle the physicality, all of it determines whether she elevates her teammates right away or needs time to find her rhythm. The domino effect of her comeback will be massive. Boston gets more clean looks, Mitchell gains another creator beside her, and defenders stretched out to the logo leave Hull, Sims, and BBY with space to thrive. The bigger question is whether Clark returns healthy enough and soon enough to turn Indiana from a team fighting to hold a playoff spot into a contender nobody wants to face. Because this isn't just about one player. It's about transforming all that potential into championship reality. And when you remember that Indiana broke 6 records in a single night without her, you start to realize this might just be the preview. This one wasn't only about the scoreboard. It gave the Fever something far more permanent. An identity built on toughness, depth, and belief. They're already building history today. Now, picture what happens when Clark is back. Her scoring, her vision, her leadership added to Boston, Mitchell, Hull, Sims, and the rest. That's not just a team for 2025. That's the foundation of a dynasty. And the records we saw, they might just be the beginning. If you're fired up, comment fired up for the Fever. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss out. Click the video on the screen, and we'll see you in the next one.